I got a new product from Tarantula Cribs, and it's called
the Cube.
You have to say it like that. Hello Tarantula lovers, I'm Alex and welcome back to Tarantula Haven. I have the wonderful opportunity to share with you a new product from Tarantula Cribs. It is called the Tarantula Cube. This thing is a 12 by 12 by 12 enclosure and it's quite a hefty chunk, so I'm anxious to see what's inside, and I've already got a tarantula in mind that I want to put in here, so let's go ahead and do an unboxing and then get the tarantula inside. I have to say that when I first started recording, I thought this was going to be a pretty standard unboxing. This product was sent to me without any explanation whatsoever, so I really did not know what to expect when I opened the box. It was at this point that things seemed a little odd to me because there was extra packaging inside of the enclosure, and I lifted the top, and could that be another enclosure? Yes, it was. Inside was a smaller 8 by 8 by 8 tarantula cube as well. So I opened it up as well, and could there be another enclosure? Because it also had some extra packaging inside that one. So yes, inside the 8 by 8 there was yet another enclosure, and that was a smaller 6 by 6 by 6. I'm going to pause right here to let you know that I was genuinely surprised when I opened this enclosure, because I thought I was only receiving the 12 by 12 by 12 enclosure here, what they call the cube. And when I opened it up, I did not expect to find 3 enclosures, kind of like
a collection of Russian nesting dolls.
So yeah, I was genuinely surprised when I opened it up. You know, I opened this one up thinking that I was only receiving the 12 by 12 by 12 cube, and when I found the packaging inside, I thought maybe it was just extra packaging to keep it from, you know, getting caved in or something in case of rough handling. So when I pulled that out and there was another box inside and that contained another enclosure, I was pretty happy about that, getting 2 enclosures. But then I opened the next one up, and of course it contained the 3rd enclosure. So I was really surprised and really happy about that, to get 3 enclosures in one. So I'm going to tell you right now, these are available on their website. You can buy them individually as the small, the medium, and the large, or you can buy the bundle, which is what I received, and the bundle will come packaged exactly like mine did. You will get 3 in 1. So that is a really cool thing. So I've moved the other 2 enclosures out of the way so I can have a chance to talk a little bit about the large cube here, because this is what I was expecting. I was not expecting the other 2 to be in here, and I've already got something in mind as to what I want to put in here. So this is a beautiful piece as far as a showcase type of enclosure. The crystal clear acrylic all the way around, in my opinion, gives it a little bit more of a spacious appearance. You can compare it to, say, your Exoterra or your Zoom Ed 12 by 12 by 12s, and those are nice, and a lot of people use them. They've got the front opening doors, but they also have all that black framing around them. And of course, if you have the front opening doors, the ones with the double doors, you've got that line as far as your viewing area is concerned. This has got a nice nice, clear, uninterrupted viewing area. And in fact, the entire thing is uninterrupted. So this is a whole lot more showy, in my opinion, something that you would definitely use to showcase a tarantula that is beautiful, that you want everybody to see, and you would want to put it somewhere in a central location where people can observe it. So it is a beautiful piece. And, you know, it's set up for terrestrial. You can put your substrate pretty high up here. Your ventilation is relatively high. So if you have, say, a fossorial species, they can dig down. But of course, you know, you can go midway if you have one of those that just kind of sits out in the open. And if you have one of what they consider a semi-arboreal, you know, the ones that like to web up and climb a little bit, and you put sticks and stuff for anchor points, you can set those up as well. So this is a really, really attractive enclosure that is multi-purpose, that you can set up for all kinds of different things. And of course, I love that uninterrupted viewing space. So I definitely have something in mind as to what I'm going to put in here. So let's go ahead and get started with that. For those of you that don't know, I'm adding hydro balls or clay balls to the bottom of the enclosure, and this will serve as a drainage layer because I'm going to be adding plants to this enclosure. The substrate that I'm adding is one that I make myself out of topsoil, sphagnum peat, and vermiculite. I wanted the cork tube to fit a certain way, and it was a little bit too long, so I decided I needed to break off a little bit so it would fit properly to give it the look that I wanted. The plant that I'm adding here is Dracaena daramensis, and the reason I chose it is because it is pretty hardy and it's doing well in a different enclosure that I have, so I also wanted to include it in here. The smaller plants that I'm putting in here are a type of succulent. I really don't know the common name for it. People seem to think that succulents should have a dry substrate, that they should be kept in dry conditions, but they'll do just fine as long as they have adequate drainage and plenty of light. They'll actually thrive in this enclosure. People always ask me as to whether I wash off the soil from the plants before I add it to the enclosure, and the truth is I do not. I guess I'm just kind of lazy that way, and I don't really feel like washing it off or anything. And I also feel like it may not be very good for the plant because the substrate that I have in there is not very nutrient rich, I guess. So I just leave it with the soil, fertilizers and all, and I put it into the enclosure. And I honestly have yet to have it affect my tarantulas in a negative way. So I haven't really seen anything like that. So I guess I'll just continue to do it unless something does happen. The tarantula that I've chosen to put in this enclosure is the Xenasthus intermedia, commonly known as the Amazon blue bloom tarantula. And the reason I chose her is because she tends to stay out in the open, and as she gets bigger, her colors are just going to get more bolder, and she does not really burrow for me. She likes to stay out in the open, and this is exactly what I want for this type of enclosure. As you can see, she's not really attacking or biting the stick, but their defense is to really kind of just stay in place, spread their legs out and anchor themselves in, and raise their abdomen up in the air, because they are great hair flickers and their hairs are very, very itchy. She did flick hairs at me and I am itching already. Right there, you can get a good look at those urticating hairs that she has flicked off. Her abdomen was perfect because she has recently molted, but now it's all scuffed up where she has kicked off hairs. I threw in a cricket just to see if she would eat, because they have a very powerful food drive, but she did not eat for me. However, when I turned my back and quit recording, she had already captured the cricket and was eating it. I'd say she's settling in just fine. There it is, the Tarantula Cube. What an awesome showpiece enclosure. I love that you have the clear acrylic all the way around and a pretty much uninterrupted view of everything inside. I like the layout of what I did here, so I really like that I can look at it from all different angles and so on. And I definitely like that front uninterrupted view, unlike some of the other enclosures that have all the framing and all the different things that are in front that kind of obstruct your vision. So this is definitely something that's a big seller for me. And it's a good size, the 12 by 12 by 12, of course. You know, they've gone into their bigger sizes here. And this is 1/4 inch acrylic, so, you know, this is pretty solid. It's a pretty solid chunk, although it didn't weigh as much as I thought it did, because it had 3 enclosures in here and not just the one. So it doesn't weigh as much as what I thought when I first held that box. Yeah, it felt like a big old chunk. And, you know, you could put your favorite display tarantula, the ones that like to sit out in the open, and you have yourself a showpiece there, something that you can put in your office, something you can put in your classroom if I had the room, or, you know, something that you can put in your house where people can enjoy it. So this is definitely a great enclosure. And of course, it comes in other sizes, not just the 12 by 12, but you can also get it in the 8 by 8 by 8 and the 6 by 6 by 6. So if you have a dwarf tarantula, if you have something in between, or if you have something larger like this Xenesis that I put in here. And I had to choose one of my itchiest tarantulas. It flicked hairs at me and now I'm itching all over the place. It is an itchy tarantula, but I love her. She's beautiful. And that's why I chose to put her in this display tarantula, because she is out all the time. So if you want to get your tarantula cube, don't forget, go to tarantulacribs.com, and they sell them in the 3 different sizes individually, or you can get it in the bundle like I received right here and get all 3 in one, which is a really cool deal. So definitely check out tarantulacribs.com, and if you use the discount code THAVEN10, you can get 10% off your order. So go check them out, get your tarantula cube today. And before I leave you today, don't forget, AnimalCon USA is going on in late August, and tickets are on sale right now. You can also purchase tickets for meet and greets to meet your favorite animal YouTuber that is attending. And Tarantula Cribs will also be there to have some of their cribs on display, so you can see exactly what they look like and the quality and all that kind of stuff. So definitely check them out, and I look forward to seeing you there as well. And that does it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to support this channel, I have a Teespring store where I sell Tarantula Haven merchandise. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. And if you'd like to become a patron yourself, there's a link down below in the description, as well as all the others. Until next time, keep loving them tarantulas.